What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Michelle and Casey, and we are
Hello.
talking some Walking Dead stuff. Like, it's been a minute since we've actually done some Walking Dead. We tried to record an episode of Daryl Dixon, and technology was like, no, we're not going to do that. So the plan was to record Daryl Dixon, and then Fear the Walking Dead came back. And I decided that we can do Daryl Dixon later. I got to get my aggression out on this Fear the Walking Dead because I'm so irritated right now. Why is Madison back? Why? What is she bringing to this? I'm just gonna warn y'all right now. This episode is about to be a lot of ranting about Madison. I don't know how you two ladies are feeling about it, but
see, this is my question. What show are y'all watching? Because, like, even with Michelle with the which ones, I'm thoroughly enjoying the shows. I am thoroughly getting what I need from them. So, which one?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. What?
Well,
do we be watching the same show?
Well, friends, I asked the question earlier: which one was worse, Dead City or The Fear the Walking Dead? However, I don't feel like Dead City is the worst. If I had to put them in order, it's just that Dead City and Fear is at the bottom. I'm sorry.
So like, you don't get like...
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it because clearly I must be getting something out of it because it caused all type of emotions to come out.
Okay. But not good emotions. So
however,
like,
I'm saying in order. If you put them in order, okay. Where would Dead City and Fear be? Towards your bottom of your list, the middle, or the top of your list?
Right now, I think Fear would be at the bottom.
That's because all I'm saying.
They're focusing so much on Madison's character, and I cannot stand her character. Did not really care for her character before she came. Before she came back, I didn't really care for her character. Now that she has come back, and especially in this episode, no, I can't stand her. And she is killing the show for me. How dare you? You see this man for the first time in 10 years. Correct. He has created a whole new identity for himself, Correct. Has a whole new family. You don't know what his situation was for him to do all of that. And you all of a sudden gonna blow his cover because he acted like he didn't know you, bitch. What?
Right, and that really bothered me.
What have you been doing? He ain't been stealing no children in the last 10 years. Your judgment. I cannot stand her in this episode. It
was so wrong, though. It was so wrong to out someone. Again, the last time he saw her was
the stadium.
Wrong. Right. So he assumed that she was dead, and he did have that tear when he hugged her, but he had to keep up his profile. You were wrong for outing him. Just because you heard stories of what he did, you didn't get his side. Shit, you're not doing right either. But to out him like that was completely wrong. Just say, you know what? I think we need to have a private conversation. Dude, what are you doing? And he can explain, I'm starting over. Let me start over.
This is the first time he has laid eyes on her. She's not even giving him time to process the fact that, oh my God, my best friend is still alive. Why aren't you saying anything? Say something, Victor. What are you doing here? Why are they calling you Anton? Why are you speaking German? Will you shut the fuck up and let this man process?
His name is Victor. It's not Anton. It's Victor. Victor. His social security number is 572 29 78 46.
Why are they calling you Anton? Why are you speaking German? Why is it his name isn't Anton? He's Victor Strand. He's lying to you. Bitch, you was walking around stealing children the whole while your children thought you were dead. You didn't try to go find nobody. You need to shut the fuck up.
That part.
I am so sick of Madison's self-righteousness, and that was one of the things that irritated me about her before she supposedly got killed off.
Yeah, we can go all the way back. Let's go back to her husband and his son. and how you handled that situation as a stepmom.
Girl.
All right, but we're not gonna
Excuse
go
me.
all the way
They
back
weren't
there.
even married. They were not married.
I thought they were married.
They
My
were
bad.
not married.
Mm.
But that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
Who was you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I tell y'all, I had to pause the TV and I looked. I said, this shit ain't even been on 8 minutes and I'm already irritated as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Same
sorry,
here.
Casey. I do not like Madison's character. I've never really cared for her character. And when they talked about bringing her back, I was like, okay, what are they about to do? And the only thing that they have done in bringing her back is made her even more insufferable than she was, and also at the cost of other characters that I actually do give a fuck about.
That we care about.
We probably will not see for the rest of this season. We already know Wendell gone, Sarah gone. We already know they didn't come back for the last few episodes.
Right.
There's no telling who else we're not going to see. We know Daniel's still alive because you hear his voice all the way through this episode. And then Strand, and then Madison. And then...
Well, you see a bunch of people at the end.
Yeah, but see, this show has taken...
our people.
This show is like a Tales of the Fear of the Walking Dead. Like, there's so many... I think back because I did binge a lot of the seasons together. But it's like different shows to me almost. It's like the Madison Showtime, Morgan show, and then there was an in-between show where it was her kids. So I'm liking the kids. Nick had to go, I understand. That was his right. And then I like the Morgan and the other group and what they were going through.
Yeah.
I don't really care for Madison. I don't. I don't
either.
So, and she just rubbed me the wrong way because she just outed that man. She did. Right. Because you can at least say, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them. So you may want to talk to them first. Like he had to put on some serious acting skills. I don't know.
And his husband was not buying it. The moment he was like, my name is not Victor, I'm Anton. Frank was over there looking at him like,
yeah, you Anton.
Here we go.
Here we go.
He knew he was telling the lie. I mean, especially depending on how long they have been together. Obviously, Victor has helped him raise Klaus. Victor has been missing for like, at this point, 7-8 years, the whole time while everybody else was at Padre. This is probably what Victor was doing.
Do we know how much time has passed?
Well, I mean, it was what, 7, the time jump was 7 years. And then we don't know how long it's been since the fall of Padre to this point. Now, I don't think it can't have been very long.
It seemed like it was longer. So you're saying that the baby was only 7 when we were talking about it?
She was supposed to be 8 and a half. Remember, we had this whole... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Like 12.
We did have conversation about the age. I thought we put her at 10, 12. So that's between 10 to 12.
She had to have been... probably by the time Padre fell, but because there was no way that child could be 8. None.
Right. So let's say 10.
Okay.
It would take 10 years. That's a long time. So if
that's the case, then it's probably, if it's been 10 years since we started the Padre storyline, that means that Victor and Madison hadn't seen each other maybe an additional, 3-4 years? No, couldn't have been that long. Maybe.
Yeah, it probably was.
It probably was.
If it's been 10 years since Troy, because he said it was 10 years ago.
Oh, he did.
Oh, so then it's been less. It's been less than that then, because they
were at the baseball fields for over a year or so.
Yep.
And Troy was before then.
Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is
time ain't working out right.
So I think the next time we talk, I'm going to have to find that someone did a very extensive timeline of all of the Walking Dead properties as far as when everything starts. I'm going to have to go and find that. And then we can revisit this conversation.
Okay.
But
and Troy could be wrong because he did get hit upside his head. So,
More than once.
he may not remember exactly when it was.
He remembered wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, let's get a little bit into this story because I really could sit here and rant about Madison for a long time, and I don't want the whole episode.
Well, the whole episode was about them too. So who else are we gonna talk about?
Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. The whole thing about Victor not being Victor and the kind of confessions that he had. So again, let's go back to this whole thing about Madison's return cost us some of the characters that we know.
Mm-hmm.
So when Strand and Madison are trapped in this little place that Madison had kidnapped Strand's, adopted son, he has
Did she
this
kidnap him or he took her? My assumption was that he went with her willingly.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't get the impression.
I thought he was young and stupid and said, "Let me go."
Okay.
Let me help her.
And then his dad kind of explained it that he probably saw her as like a mother figure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that.
He was kidnapped.
We'll go with that.
However, she persuaded him to go.
Yeah, there you go.
Now that may be, but I didn't feel he was kidnapped because he didn't want to leave her.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He didn't.
So he went voluntarily. And then remember, her rope was cut off.
Huh?
Her rope was cut off. Remember when they went in the room? It was on the bed. The rope was cut on the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this conversation because when they're having this conversation and Victor's explaining to her why he wasn't claiming his own name, and he was like, "Look, I did some things as Victor Strand in that tower that I guess you could say he's ashamed of." He was like, I kept people away from me. I pushed people away from me. I treated them horribly, even Alicia. And he was talking about when they left the tower and they were on the boats and everybody was floating. He was like, they landed, some people ended up going to PADRE. They landed somewhere else. They were starving. They needed food. And he was trying to help them. And he said they didn't want my help because of what I had done in the tower. He said he left to go get help. And when he came back, they were all gone or they were all dead. I'm sitting here like, so is this Fear's cheap ass way of telling us that all these people are dead? Now I know, like I said, we saw Daniel, we see Sherry. Let's see who else. And I think that June is there.
June.
Dove.
Sherry.
But as far as our original group or our group,
we don't know because
Dove, I don't consider her as part of the group. She's Padre, so she's not really one of our core people. But we don't see Luciana, we don't see Sarah, we don't see Wendell, we don't see who else was there. Rabbi Jacob. We don't see Charlie, although I'm probably going to assume that Charlie is dead at this time because she had the radiation poisoning. So you literally just let this one scene and this one sentence, I came back and they were all gone. You let that be how we found out or how we potentially find out that characters we have followed and cared for years are not part of the show anymore. That's such a fucking cop-out. And I understand, yes, it's a show about the zombie apocalypse. People can die off screen, whatever. We've seen them do it before, but not with characters who were main characters. Right. You don't just write them off screen and expect us to be okay with that. That was one of the things. And again, this is only the first episode of what I think we have 5 episodes in this back half. So it's a possibility they can show up. I mean, I know that I've seen Luciana in some promos, but say you're a person who doesn't watch the promos. You're looking at this episode and you're just thinking, okay, where are these people? And you literally have a throwaway line from Strand about what their fates might be. I have a problem with that.
And you always wanted to know what happened to him, so now you know.
But I have a problem with that because that still doesn't tell me anything.
No, it doesn't.
Y'all told me more about what happened with Troy, who yes, is the person that shows up. He is the person that survived. He was the person, the mysterious person at the end of the mid-season finale. It was Troy. And I'm just like, okay, so this is how we're going to, this is the beginning of the end. Y'all going to focus on this whole Troy and Madison thing because Troy apparently wants PADRE for his
right.
people.
And I felt...
And I mean, I get what he's saying. You took my home from me, so now I'm gonna take your. Okay.
But then I want Madison.
Level,
hold up. But then I want Madison to say, "Boo, a lot of that shit was your fault. You did some crummy things.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I hit you with a hammer.
Yeah,
you understand?
But before that,
it's not like
Madison was doing some bullshit at the farm.
Yeah, but he was already on that mess. You see what I'm saying? He got a lot of his own people killed.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. Including his, to me, he was part of his brother dying. So
yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm feeling like the little villain that we're supposed to have is a little weak by bringing Troy back. Because honestly, Troy was actually dead. But they were like, let's find someone from their past. Well, if we go through, that person really did die because they actually became a walker. Okay, we can't use that one, blew up. Okay, that one's on fire. Okay, that one has chemical burns. You know what, Troy? He was just on the ground. We're going to bring him back alive.
He was far enough away back.
Yeah. Because at this point,
like, she hit him in the head with a hammer, knocked him out. Right. And then the whole fucking dam collapsed. How did you survive that?
In Mexico. So like somebody offering him some help.
Not in the zombie apocalypse. Look, right. Not a white boy in the zombie apocalypse.
No, they're not.
In Mexico? No.
Right, no. We'll be like, dude, go home.
Man, let me tell you.
So I was like, oh, so we doing this right here. We're gonna do this right here.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at it in the background. We do have Daniel, Sherry, June, Dove, and a whole bunch of the parents that, I guess is following them. But
and then what makes me mad is Daniel. You about 80. Just shoot him. He's basically telling you, I'm going to keep doing this and I'm going to hurt people. And I killed your daughter.
That part.
Just shoot him.
That part.
Just shoot him. And I think we'll be all right. And his people are going to either avenge him, or be like, you know what? He was an a-hole anyway. So can we come and live with y'all?
Right. But is it just me or did the dude who was kind of like his right-hand man, does he not look like an evil twin version of Troy's brother? The guy who came looking for Madison in the first place. He looks like a version of Troy's brother. But okay, so let's talk about this whole confrontation thing when Daniel walks in and he has one of Troy's people and they start having this conversation. Now, y'all know I talk about this all the time. They apparently live in a world where The Incredibles didn't come out because the monologuing was monologuing today. But it tells you a little bit about Troy's state of mind. It tells you a little bit about his motivations, which I get, because my whole thing is, why would you even, you had to have crossed states to figure out where the hell Madison was. Right. Like, why would you even be on that? Then
when revenge drives you, it don't matter how far you got to travel to get them.
It does, especially when you come across supposedly come across the daughter of the person you got revenge on. When he started talking about Alicia, I was like, he got to be joking. He got to be joking. And Madison's reaction when she was like, what are you talking about? And when he kicked that duffel bag to her, I said, okay, he's about to show her Alicia's arm. Now, the crazy thing is, she's looking at this arm like she has no idea what this is. And she's looking at Victor like, what is this? She's looking at Daniel, what is this? Like, y'all didn't tell her about, y'all told her everything else about Alicia. Y'all told her that she probably died because of the bite.
Which was on the arm that they chopped off, which was a slow fever that was just killing her. Nah, they forgot to mention that part.
Tell her about the arm?
No, they didn't.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. And I get Madison being upset. I get her wanting to attack Troy, but you can't even breathe right. First of all, you can't even breathe good. Second of all, you got all these people with guns pointed at you. And you have these people who just came in to save your ass on some bullshit that you did. Because, the way you did Troy, Troy was annoying. Troy was a danger. But the way she did it was cold. We all said that. We were like, what? Mm-hmm. And now your sins are coming back to haunt you. But it's going to bring everybody that you love into this. Because that's what people on The Walking Dead do.
When you hit someone with the... Right. And then when you're hitting someone with a hammer, you got to make sure they're dead. Okay? You don't just leave them there to die.
No movies in this era. She doesn't know about Zombieland. She doesn't know about Double Tap. Because
she should. Because she survived.
We all said that. I think we all said
she on
that.
Oxygen. But she survived.
But I think we all said that even way back then. I remember a lot of conversation like, oh, she didn't double tap. He might be alive. What is it you always say, Casey? We didn't see a body. He might be alive. Like, we kind of saw a body, but we don't know that he wasn't breathing. Let's just be honest. We don't know.
Right.
Even though
like Alicia, we don't know Alicia is alive or dead.
Right. Because I kind of feel like
almost they will bring Madison back.
Fucking with her.
But I also think she is alive because I always said if we brought Madison back, what point would be bringing Madison back and then she doesn't get to at least see one of her kids?
Right.
So I felt like Alicia will always be alive and they will run into each other. Now, the possibility of that, they made it possible because at PADRE, now I'm about to get her name confused, can help people who have gotten bitten. So maybe Alicia met someone else who kind of helped her because she wasn't turning, but her body was fighting it severely.
Yes.
So maybe someone had helped her. That's what in my mind I'm thinking. And maybe she got a better arm and Troy just got the bad arm she threw away.
Mm-hmm. But the other thing too is
I don't think Alicia's dead.
I really don't think she is, but also too, I can't say for sure that I think Troy would actually harm Alicia because now it's been a while since I've seen those those episodes way back then. But Alicia was never overtly mean to him. She was never nasty to him. Now I know that she was upset because of his brother dying because she was dating him at the time. But I don't think that he hated Madison. Madison was the one that killed his father. Madison was the one that, I think got the walkers on the ranch. Madison was the one who orchestrated a lot of the stuff going on in Troy's life. Now, I understand, he'll probably think, oh, well, this is her daughter. But depending on when he saw Alicia and when he started hearing about Madison, what will be the point of him killing Alicia if he doesn't even know Madison is alive? Because at that point, all of them thought Madison was dead. So if he happened to come across Alicia, she would have told him, yeah, my mom died about a year after you did. Right. He wouldn't have known until Madison started doing the broadcast about PADRE.
And then if he really wanted to hurt her, like hurt Madison like that, I'm going to kill Alicia in front of you. I wouldn't kill her and tell you about I killed her. No.
If I was Troy.
Come on, I'm going to tag you. You're going to tag along because I heard your mom was
right. But I mean, the arm, yes, the arm is a good prop, is something good to kind of fuck with her mind. But if you're really that cold and that cruel, and we know Troy can be both, and Troy can also be a little psycho.
Yeah, he's a little crazy.
Kill Alicia, take her head, and let that be the thing. Pull an alpha. Let that be the thing that you present to Madison.
Right. That was should have been in the duffel bag, a head.
Right. So I will say
which
this.
Is gonna be a little weird because it's been a while, but a head going.
I mean, they've done it before.
They have.
So, Emil is the other person. The twin. The big black dude. The one Morgan killed his twin brother, and then him and Morgan was fighting, and the dog got killed, and then he we don't know what happened to him either, but he was with them. So it's like, don't tell me where the fuck these people are. But the thing with Troy, okay, going back to Troy and his behavior, his motivations and stuff, it's one thing to want revenge on Madison. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he's fucking with her. Again, in my heart, I don't think Alicia is dead. And I don't think he would have killed her. But if you saw Alicia, and like you said, Alicia could have gotten a better prosthetic. She could have done something. She could have maybe not needed that arm or whatever. He could have taken that arm and then heard about Madison's. Who knows? But I don't know that I feel like, even though he says he came across Alicia, he killed her, and instead of, giving her the final kill, he let her wander around the desert because that's what I had to do. I had to wander around Mexico after you left me for dead. So I can kind of understand that, but something tells me I don't think he's telling the truth about that. I just don't.
He's not. And the thing about it is, really, he's just obsessed because he feels bad for what happened on that ranch. He feels bad about his family and ultimately the downfall of his family. Even though you want to blame Madison, that boy was acting crazy beforehand at the retention center. Let's get it clear. So he feels bad about it, but everything, he's going to displace it on Madison. So yeah, he's going to tease her. He's going to do everything possible to drive her nuts to get it off of him. That's why Daniel should have shot him right then and there. I'm confused about how we're thinking about this. If there's threats and we know these people are not going to live in regular society, why we don't even have a court case for him, just shoot him. He has shown you.
Right. However, Daniel of all people.
Right. Daniel. Because he's not trying to redeem himself. At least Victor is. So Victor made me think of redemption again. Because like again, but then we think about Victor. He keeps doing bad and be like, no, I want to do good, then do bad. No, I want to do good, then do bad.
Okay, so we got to define the bad, because yes, the thing.
Okay, the last bad was bad though. The last bad was really bad.
It was.
The other bad was
at the same time, he was doing that bad because he was trying to protect what he had built for the people that was there. Now,
right. Okay, to the point where they're scared. No, he just went a little extreme, and that's okay. It went to his head.
Yeah.
However, he decided to become a different person and try again, and he's actually been doing good. But what's going to end up happening is Madison's going to pull him under, and he's not going to be Anton anymore.
Well, he's not Anton anyway. Remember, he finally admitted to his.
Yes, but he was trying to be Anton, and they should just let him be Anton and live this life, his secondary life.
Yeah. But
Madison messed that up.
Victor did the one thing that he knew and that he swore he would not do again, which was to let somebody in like that, because the last time we saw Victor even remotely in any kind of romantic relationship was all the way back in season 1 with Tomas.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor is one of those people where if he cares about people, he's not going to be able to do the hard things. We saw that in season 6 with the whole Jenny thing, with him sending Alicia away. You know, when the people that he loves are around him, he can't be that cool and heartless person that he needs to be, 1, to survive, and 2, to do the things needed so other people can survive. Yes.
So
his
basically,
intentions are good, but he kind of went a little extreme the last time.
Right.
So now he's like, okay, I got to shed this persona. I got to stop being Victor Strand.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be this other person. Now he has found love. He has found a child, which I don't think we've ever heard Victor say that was something he wanted, but you know that he would have been a good parent just because of the way he took to Nick and Alicia. So it's like now you have this safe space. You have this hotel. Let me tell you, when they started walking through the hotel, I was like, that's probably the best place for anybody to be stranded. They still got the burners working. They still got eggs. They got chickens. They are raising their food. It looks, I mean, except for the fact that you know that there are walkers outside, you can walk into that hotel and not even know that there was a whole different thing going on outside. He found something he wanted to protect, and he was trying to protect it in a different way. And then here come these people. Well, excuse me. Here come Madison to fuck some shit up. And then here come those people behind her because of stuff that she did.
And then now Victor is going to come out and he's going to go to a side he didn't want to go back to. Man, this sounds so familiar to someone else's story.
Ain't that all their story?
No, but that's like Negan. I mean, like trying to make a difference and then someone pulling them back in here.
Yep. You know, with the whole husband or spouse and the child, and I have to be better and blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, and this is the thing. So Victor can read people so well, but you can't read your own husband when your husband is sitting there through everything, calling you on your bullshit. When you're trying to get rid of Madison, no, she's going to stay. When he's talking to Daniel on the radio and you're trying to get him to stop, no, she has to go. She's dangerous. He was like, she's staying unless anybody else has an objection. And like literally every time Victor opened his mouth, Frank is looking at him like, I know you are hiding something. Then when they go in the woods, when they're trying to find Klaus, he was like, so are you going to tell me or do I have to guess? And Victor was like, why are you talking in English? He was like, because I want to hear this the way that you're thinking it. I don't want there to be no time for you to sit here and try to think of tell me the truth. And all Victor had to do was tell him the truth. Yes, I am Victor Strand. And the reason why
because he's explaining to him like, no matter who you are, I love you.
Right.
He was like, you think I don't know what it's like living with a big secret? This man was married. He was married to a woman. And the reason they got divorced was because he finally decided to come out and be like, look, this is not the life I want to live. If he can't understand what you're going through, and his wasn't even in a zombie apocalypse at the time. So if he can't understand that you as a man had to do certain things, bad things maybe, in order to survive and get to where you are.
But Victor didn't want to, he didn't want to say it out loud because he really wants to be anti, and that's why he just couldn't do it. It wasn't about like he know that the husband was figuring it out.
The person you love.
I know, but he's lying to himself. He does it. It's almost like when you know you have a problem, and the other person saying you have a problem, but you like, I don't want to say that out loud. I don't have a problem, but you know you have a problem.
But
he knew that
you know what?
Right,
he knows avoided a lot of that stuff if he
does, but he didn't want to say it out loud because that means it's over. He has to be Victor again.
But you know what?
He don't
Now
want
you
to.
have someone there who can help you when you're standing on that precipice. You have someone there who can say, hey, you starting to cross that line. Let's bring you
but
back
still,
in.
you don't want to be that person. And now you have
But now
to
you
say,
got to be that person anyway, and the person that you love and your son both looking at you like you're a liar. So what did that accomplish? Nothing.
It did, but that's an inner thing. That wasn't something that it had anything to do with his husband. But it's really Madison's fault. So she shouldn't have said it out loud and threw his business out there in the
really
street.
Shouldn't have.
Let that man come to his own, come to it to himself that, you know what, I need to say something to my family and I may have to step up and be Victor in this situation because stuff is going on out there in our world. Right. We're not in paradise anymore. But
Madison did not read the room. She did not.
She didn't care. She doesn't care. Does she really care?
That too. Because here's the thing. Because it didn't fit what you were trying to do. It didn't fit your truth. Now you're going to go and expose him. You don't know what this man has been through in the last 10 years. You don't know what he has had to do. You don't know how he got to this place that he is in now. You don't know what happened. You don't know the story. Just like he knows your story. He could have been like, yeah, she's supposed to be dead. Why is she here? He could have said that too. Been like, yeah, I know her. She's a liar. She's supposed to be dead or whatever the case may be.
Right. So, Casey, here's the question again. So, how would you rank the Fear of the Walking Dead? She still didn't answer that question.
I'm gonna shut up now because I've been doing a lot of ranting in this episode. Casey,
I have to.
Okay,
and
so
we said at the bottom
why you feel like you are watching a different show than we are.
I'm not feeling like. Okay, yeah, of course, Walking Dead is my favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, I would say it's at the bottom, but it's not. To me, it's not at the bottom because it's a bad show. It's at the bottom because the other ones I feel I like better.
But, and I'm not, you know what? And I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm not saying it's a bad show. There are some things that are still good about it, but I just very strongly, emphatically feel like bringing Madison back was one of the worst decisions they could have done for a final season. Right. Like, and you giving us closure for something that happened 4 seasons ago.
Long time ago. And the thing about it is, I actually enjoyed the show. It's not consistent because it's not nowhere near like the first couple of seasons. And then this end is nowhere near the middle. So it's not like consistent.
Seasons 5 and 6 were really good.
Okay, it's just that now I feel like we just throwing shit at the wall
and seeing what's gonna stick.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's not. You know, I think that's not fair. And you're like, oh, let's pull on their strings. Let's Madison, and we're gonna, issue with Victor and stuff because Morgan is gone. And I'm like, really? Because we could have just ended this. We could have ended this before.
Yeah, I think what they tried to do with this show, because, I just made the comment, they're trying to close off something that happened a few seasons ago. Well, the main Walking Dead is doing the same thing with Rick. But guess what? We actually give a fuck about Rick. We actually give a fuck about Michonne. Again, I don't give a fuck about Madison. I really never have. And for them to bring her back in this final season, again, that means that the majority of the story is going to focus on her and not this other story that you have been building for the last several years. Right. It just,
all these other people that we actually got to know and cared about when they had to deal with the other villain, they're not a part of the season anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's the Madison show now. I mean, I felt it was the Morgan show before, and now it's the Madison show.
But at least Morgan's stuff kind of sort of made sense.
But Morgan had everyone spanning out like a butterfly, like they were still kind of connected to him. But I enjoyed that. I'm okay with that. But the Madison is like, she's the Lone Ranger. She by herself.
Right. Because one, like I said, you were alive. You didn't bother to go try to find your children because, in your words, last season, or at the beginning of this season, you just brought the bad stuff. You just wanted them to have a chance and da 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 da.
To
But
die.
still, you let people, your family, you let them think you were dead, and then to fill that hole, you started kidnapping kids. Oh, well, you know what? The adults can't really, they can't take care of the children, so we're going to raise the children to take care of themselves. No, just because you couldn't take care of your goddamn kids, right? I mean, because think about it. The last season and a half before Madison died, her kids were not on good terms. Alicia couldn't even stand being around her half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that empty hole and you go get some tattoos, and then you steal children.
Which, if someone did that to her, she would go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She would.
So I just think this wasn't the direction.
It's just not what I was expecting when they said they were ending the show.
So what do you think would have been a better direction to go then?
How about,
like, what would have made it be like, not, it's still going to be at the bottom out of all of the shows, but what would have made it better?
Morgan and everybody figuring out a way to get out of that radiated city that they stayed way too long in, and headed their ass back to Virginia. Yeah. Morgan talked about going home. He talked about taking them with him. It's not irradiated there, or at least you don't think so, but it can't be as bad as it was where you were. They could have gone off into the sunset, headed towards Virginia. He could have knocked on the Alexandria's door, and that they could have ended it like that. I would have been fine, because at least now I know all my people are there. They're together, and I know at some point, a few years down the line, we might get a continuation of that story. But this here, again.
But wouldn't that have made it, okay, everybody makes it too, then what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay. If you're going to end the show.
You still have people that weren't at the tower. So what about them?
But like who?
Hey, we don't know those people.
Because most of the people on our group, they made it off those rafts.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but again, so that means it still would have been, if Morgan took everybody, it still would have been the Madison show, because now she got to come back and she got to figure out what happened to everybody.
No, they didn't have to bring Madison back.
And if they did have to bring Madison back, because it's the last season, we could have just ended with PADRE falling and them rebuilding. Done. Done.
Like that whole...
I mean, even though that's like the original one with the Commonwealth, like they took over and they rebuild. Well, we could have the same thing. PADRE ends. We're gonna stop kidnapping kids. People are united with their child, and we find out where some other the people are, and then it ends.
Because at this point,
it really should have ended, to be honest with you, a little while back, because the premise is actually the beginning. We turned into the full nightmare of things. It's supposed to be the fear, and it was supposed to be just the beginning of how things unraveled. And now we're like in the midst of...
In the beginning, we had started with this family.
So right, and if we ended... Like I said, we probably should have ended a while back.
because
Or
I
maybe the
think the
dad
thing
would come back. What's
that
his name? Even though he fell out of the helicopter, he could be
no.
okay.
No, we not finna do that because he got shot and fell out of helicopter. We're not even finna do that. I don't even want that story. As much as I love Curtis,
I mean, but we ain't
I
seen
don't even
nobody.
want that story.
We didn't.
That would make you want to know what really would have probably made it a little more interesting for me instead of bringing Troy back. Bring Chris back, because the only word that we have that he died are the two people that were with him. We didn't see Chris's body. Yes, we saw it on visually because of the story they were telling, but we don't know for a fact that Chris is dead. Y'all could have brought him back. Y'all could have brought him back. That probably would have been a little
turned
more
into a psycho leader, which
that
was his
probably would have
path.
made more sense to me.
It would have.
But Troy
I would
coming
get
back,
that. Yeah, because then that really is like a full circle type of thing. Because they were all there from the beginning.
Or if you were going to do this whole Padre thing, because again, the thing that kind of irritated me about the Padre thing, and this is something that they have done in The Walking Dead before, they did it with Terminus, is like you build up this community or you build up this threat, and then 3 episodes later it's done. So it's like the whole thing with Padre and with Shrike and her brother, like, to me, that was like the most ridiculous. Like, y'all could have made
was, but we needed Padre because, like Alicia that was her goal, was Padre. So we should have had Padre, but we should have had a stronger person for us to hate at Padre. They take down Padre and again is rebuilding. And first of all, Madison didn't have to be a part of that. It could have been all the other people because, again, Alicia was like, I want to get y'all to Padre. All the stuff that she did underground, Padre. So it should have been a stronger, it would have been better if it was even the dad and his 2 kids had died.
Should have been, but it just, I don't know. It's like, and like you said, they're throwing stuff at the wall trying to see what's going to stick. And there are certain things that I'm just not feeling out. Okay, if Victor is on a redemption arc, okay, I get it. Victor can be on a redemption arc, but I can
his
say
third
this.
one.
I can say this. With Madison in the picture, there will be no redemption for Victor Strand.
No, she's going to turn him to the dark side.
Yeah, because when Victor starts making decisions that are kind of questionable, Madison is going to be the person that's sitting there pushing him. She's going to be the one nudging him.
And that is the reason why he didn't want to be Victor.
So
now
I'm sorry, Casey. I feel like she
has that much influence over him.
Well, yeah,
no, but she's going to put him in situations where he's going to have to be who he really is.
I think she does have that much influence over him because Madison and Alicia and Nick, those were the closest people to family for Victor. Like, this was a family who he wasn't even trying to get to know, who actually just, again, they just kind of co-opted his boat and his property. And again, kind of like the main Walking Dead show, wherever the Clarks go, disaster follows. But Madison and Victor, I feel like, are two sides of the same coin. You know what I'm saying? They will do whatever they need to survive. They will do whatever they need to protect the people that they love. But Victor is the one who will keep people at arm's length to get done what he needs to do. Like I said, he did it with Jenny. He did it with Alicia. Like, he knew if Alicia made her way to that tower, he was going to stop doing what he did. That's why he threw the old boy over the thing. And he admitted as such. He was like, I did the one thing that would make Alicia hate me, because that dude loved Alicia. We don't know how she felt about him, but Strand was like, oh, what's the one thing to make Alicia hate me? Oh, kill somebody that she cares about. Oh, okay, let's do this. Yeah, so yeah, Alicia and Madison both have that kind of influence on him. But the thing is, I don't know if I can say that Madison, like, even when she was doing the thing in the baseball field, she was doing it as a way to try to make it up to her children, all the bullshit that happened at the ranch, because again, her kids at this point weren't really speaking to her. So she only starts doing the good stuff, I feel like, when she needs to make amends. You know what I'm saying? She had no problem stealing children, stealing babies from their parents. What was the one thing that made her turn
That's
around?
deep.
The fact that Morgan knew who Nick and Alicia were, and that was a link for her to her children. Oh,
but that's deep.
I can help you get your baby back. Bitch, you shouldn't have took it in the first place.
Yeah.
So she always
Strand didn't throw kids over the building. He just threw, adults who didn't do right. But Alicia stole children. That's worse on the meter.
Madison.
I'm sorry, Madison.
Yeah.
That's worse on the meter.
Right.
However, Strand again is in the gray area, and he doesn't need much help to be in the gray area. And this right here is going to put him in the gray area to help, again, Madison, family, and now Alicia that he may feel that's alive to help them.
And he going to end up dying for it.
Do you think Victor thinks Alicia is alive?
I don't know. I think he thinks the same way we do. I didn't see a body. I have no idea. She could have survived. She's a survivor. So she could have survived. If Madison survived fire, well, this is a possibility. So now I don't even know. He made it like, now he's questioning it like she really could be.
But I don't know, because I think at this point, even if they thought that she was alive, with the fact that Troy talked about how he killed her and then brought the arm, I think any hope at that moment probably diminished. Because they don't know if Troy is telling the truth or not.
Right. And he's good at reading people. So he may be like, nah, this sucker lied.
But then we have a conversation. I want to say it was in the later episodes of the first half of this season when her arm was left on her, the prosthetic was left on the hospital bed. We had a conversation about this, like about the fact that there was possibly a second one. Do y'all remember that conversation?
Yes, I do. So
it could very well still be possible that he took one of the, you know what I'm saying? Knowing
but then how would he know that it was Alicia's? That would be, I guess that would be the only question.
Alicia. I'm not saying he may have run across her, but Alicia ain't no punk. It's not like she gonna be like, oh, Troy, I ain't seen you in 10 years. No. Alicia is still gonna be Alicia. And she gonna be like, I thought my mama killed your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's just gonna be like welcoming him with open arms. No, you still a bad dude. So I still know that you ain't shit. So I'm not gonna let you. So he may have seen her. He very well may have seen her. I don't think he killed her.
Yeah, and I think that Strand can kind of do that too. So he may be questioning. He looks at, for me, I feel like
Strand couldn't even read his husband enough to know that, oh, maybe I don't need to lie to him.
He did. He just didn't want to admit it out loud. He had a problem. But Strand thinks of all possibilities and probabilities, so he probably is figuring different ways she could be alive. So he's probably questioning it now.
And even let's say he did kill her. Alicia ain't giving up without no fight. She's not just gonna roll over and be like, okay, kill me.
But if she was still weakened, and I know the way that we saw her at the end. That's what I'm saying.
The way she was at the end, like, I'm strong, I got my strength back, I done killed this little virus that was in my body. She wasn't. It would be different if she was in that weakened state and he found her. You know what I mean? But she was not.
And I'm still so confused. Like, and then we make it where this man says, "Oh, I killed your daughter, Daniel," and I killed your daughter, Madison, and y'all let him walk off. Y'all walk away from him. I'm
But
confused about this.
Her daughter. I mean, he didn't kill Daniel's daughter.
I know, but he said he's part of that. But again, y'all just let him walk off. I'm confused. I'm still confused. I'm sorry. I've seen Rick do things to people who admit less.
Hello.
Right.
And it's not y'all relatives. And this man keeps saying he's coming back for more. So I'm still a little confused. But I know we have to say this threat because he's the last person they're going to, you know.
But he's threatening Padre. Y'all got children.
Right. And he says he's going to come back and he's going to destroy and he's going to keep coming back and destroy. And I'm still kind of confused. And then y'all gave him the hotel? Really?
I just
okay.
Right. The hotel really? Y'all gave him the omelet stations and the vegetables.
Right. I mean, and nice planters and stuff.
They have easy. Gave it up so easy.
So easy.
Right the eye, you have
to go to Padre. And I'm like, is Padre looking like this? No. I mean, they got nice painted wall. Look at that apartment.
Everybody got their own room.
That apartment.
And not only that, y'all have more people in that hotel than old boy brought with him with the guns. As soon as Daniel and Sherry and all them walked in, y'all should have been whipping ass and being like, oh, okay, let's go on ahead and they could have taken care of that because if Troy is the leader, you take him out right there, you give everybody else a chance to say, hey, we're going to stay with y'all and we're going to do what y'all tell us to do, or we're going to join his fate. But there is no way, especially this is somebody you think you killed once. You already know he's looking for revenge. That ain't even a question.
He would not have left that damn room.
No. That's mistake number one, but okay.
So I don't know. Like I said, Madison is becoming that Walking Dead thing where everywhere she goes, it's about to fall. That's just how I feel. They got along at that hotel from the start of the zombie apocalypse.
They did.
Madison is there less than 24 hours.
And this is their home.
And they giving it up to Troy.
This is their home.
Like y'all done had children since then. There were some younger children there. But now
and they did very well, though. Let's be clear. They did very well. They're still at the hotel they were in when they were on their U.S. tour.
Right.
So
and nobody came to try to get you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like they did very well. And
Madison shows up and then one day it's gone. Because she couldn't keep her mouth shut about Victor, and Victor was like, I gotta get her out of here to save my family. Or to save me. All she had to do was keep her mouth shut, they would have been fine. Because Victor wouldn't have felt compelled to give her up. Especially once he found out she was stealing children. Did you see the look on his face? At least the people I killed were grown folks.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Children? At least he didn't mess with the children. He helped the children, they came back he helped the kids.
That's like what they say about people in jail. People can be in jail for all kinds of things, but you put a child rapist in there and everybody on the cell block is going to beat your ass. That's what they always say. It's kind of like that. Victor's like, oh yeah, I know I did this and I threw old boy off the roof and I killed Wes and I did this.
I lied.
But I didn't take nobody's children.
No.
Now he tried with Morgan, but again, he was trying to save Baby Mo, but he went a little far with it. But still, it's like, how dare you do the things that you did, and then you come up in my house where I'm giving you shelter, where I'm giving you oxygen, and I'm giving you meatball soup. and you try to tear down everything I've built. And for what? Because I wouldn't acknowledge you in the way that you wanted me to, because I wouldn't admit who I was.
Yep.
Stop and think about why we are in a fucking apocalypse. There could have been a whole bunch of reasons why he was no longer Victor Strand at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, Madison, just, I can already see I'm about to be irritated the rest of this season. And I'm just really trying to, I'm trying not to hate watch. It's only the first episode since it's been back. So hopefully the other episodes will be better. Like I said, at the preview at the end of this episode, I did see Luciana up in the corner. So hopefully we will see her and it will be better. But right now, Madison is getting on my last fucking nerve. And I'm so ready for her to be gone. Just die already.
She's not gonna make it to the end. Just know that. Be prepared.
Do you see the look on my face?
How can it be the Madison show if they kill her off?
Oh, they're not. When this ends, she will be alive. Other people will be dead, but she'll be alive.
She's gonna be alive.
Because she's gonna be alive so that we can maybe bring her into another.
Now that
no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I don't need to see Madison Clark in nothing else.
And like she may show up like Dead City. I mean, like she's gonna show up.
If she goes to Dead City, Negan just needs to go on and shut that down. He just needs to go on and shut that down. Or the Crow Act can shut it down. I really don't care at this point. But her ass better not go to New York. She better get in the ocean and swim to France. And let them let those acid walkers take her. I do not need to see any more of Madison Clark. Ever.
Loss of oxygen is gonna take her out. There ain't gonna be no walker. She ain't gonna be able to breathe.
You might be right. That's
true too, because it's like that finding that is gonna be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you have PADRE, so they may have enough for you.
That's true.
But at some point,
she ain't at PADRE now.
At some point, it will run out, though. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not a finite of. I mean, however, we find a lot of wigs, so we be able to find oxygen.
You know what? We're not about to get on this wig conversation. Do y'all have any final thoughts about this episode? Because we are not about to get into the wig conversation. Y'all have any final thoughts?
Oh, that was funny.
No final thoughts?
My final thought is Alicia not dead because we ain't seen about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Another final thought. Strand found that beauty supply store because I'm sorry, his hair was looking tight.
You know what? And on that note, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.